Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lewis Glover for Combat Sports UK, and I am joined by Donovan, the highlight reel Beard, the current Cage Fury middleweight champion. Donovan, first of all, congratulations on winning that belt, man, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Man, thank you for having me, Lewis. I really appreciate the invite, and thank you for the positive vibes, and I'm ready to get this show going.
Awesome, man. Listen, I think we have to start with your last fight against Miles Lee, where you won the belt, and you were down on the scorecards going into the fourth round, but you came out looking incredibly fresh, and the younger guy, Lee, he looked like he was gassed, man. He looked like he was really sucking it up. He was looking up at the clock to see how long was left. Is your conditioning something that you pride yourself on?
Oh yeah, most definitely, because you got to have win to win. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. You certainly had that. Was there something in particular that your coaches and your corner said to you just before the fourth round to help you push through? It's been a bit of a hot topic recently. We saw Leon Edwards' corner giving it to him, telling him he's got to get out there and get it done. Was it a bit of that sort of the same sentiment that your coaches were putting to you?
exactly the same sense, because I knew I was already down 3, because I was in my head like, all right, it can go 2, and I could get 2, and we could go to the 5. And since it didn't go that way, nowhere near like my head thought of it. And it was just like, I got one more shot. It was like, you got to go out there and do it. And by the grace of God, I went out there and did it.
Yes, you did. And you were winning the round before the takedown that allowed you to sink in the triangle as well. Your striking looked sharp. And I think with the combination of him being tired and you lighting him up like that, it was an absolutely right way to finish the fight. So congratulations once again. And afterwards, it was clearly an emotional moment for you. You were, put that out there for the world to see, which as fight fans, we love it, because watching fights means a lot to us. So I can't imagine what it means to you guys after the insane work that you put in. Can you just describe some of the emotions you were feeling and what was going through your head after your hand was raised?
Man, the very first thought that went through my mind whenever I sunk in the triangle, I'm not letting you go. You may have to pass out in between my legs. And damn, I actually did it. I did it. I can't believe I did it. I did it, man. It's, and like I said, all glory to God, man. That's just what it is.
Brilliant. And is the triangle something that you consider one of your sort of favorite submissions, or it was just you were seeing it in that fight? Because I think it might have been the second round where you threw one up and you looked like you might have had it for a moment. He was able to slip both arms through to defend it. But obviously in the fourth, he was too tired to do that. Is that something that you practice a lot, or you're just trying to build out your ground game all over the place?
I like to work on every part of my ground, from top to bottom, side, half, anywhere, turtle. And my triangle, it is something that I pride myself on, because that was my very first winning technique as an amateur, my second fight. And I was getting beat up the same way, but with actual fists and everything. So I'm just like, okay, I got to do something. And next thing I know, it was that split second where I seen it and I threw it, and I knew I ain't letting you go. You're just going to have to die in between my legs. I don't care.
That's it.
And I won. Excuse me. And I won another the same way. So this is my third triangle victory. So, and like you said, by the second round, when I threw it, I knew it was a possibility that I could throw it. So I was just really waiting on that opportunity. And then it showed itself, like I said, that little small window opportunity opened up, and there it was.
Yeah, it was a small window. You snatched it and he tapped quickly. It went in tight straight away. You'd already turned the corner. It was beautiful. And I think, you're what, about 6'2"? I think we're about the same height. You got those long legs to get that
Yeah,
clamp down with the triangle. So that's what's up. I really like that. I really like that. Um,
thank you.
I'm sure you're aware, but maybe for some of the people tuning in, the middleweight strap in Cage Fury, man, it's an illustrious belt. Some of the names that have held this title prior to yourself, we're looking at Kyle Dorcas, Dustin Jacoby, Anthony Smith, some heavy hitters. So
Damn.
that's what my research tells me. So tell me, is this the plan? You want to try and follow in these guys' footsteps?
Man, I'm just looking to make my own way, the highlight reel way, you know. And to be honest, I didn't even think nothing much of that title. I was just like, okay, it's for a belt. That's nice. Then he said world champion. I'm like, what? And then they raised my hand. It was like, world champion. I'm like, so that mean like Africa, that mean Iraq, that mean Russia, that mean, dang.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm a world champion.
Yes, sir. That's not like a baseball World Series championship. That's a world championship.
Right. I was just, feeling real good about that. It took me some days to even slap myself into reality about that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I can only imagine. Was there any way that did you celebrate in any particular way? Did you do anything special afterwards? What was that like in the night after, the night of the fight, and the days following?
well, I can say that I just hung out with close people of mine after the fight. And then when I got home, I went to Texas to go visit my immediate family, my mom's brother, sister, and the kids that they babysit. And we've grown up around for some time because they was like, we want to take pictures with the belt. We want to see. So I brought the belt down there. We took a gang of pictures and everything. It was just lovely. It was a break that I really needed because I'm always head down working and everything. So I just took that time, about a week, just to let my body heal, let my mind heal, just let go and be cool. But right after that, I got home, I went straight to it.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure you really relished that week spending it with your closest family and friends, resting and recuperating because, you know, as you said, back in the gym and time to get after it again because you got, let's say it, man, biggest fight of your career coming up on September 27th on the Dana White Contender Series.
Yes,
How are the
sir.
how are the preparations going for this event so far?
Man, to be honest, it's the same old thing, just added in a couple uh folks that were a little bit more experienced and, just putting it all together and we're gonna make it happen on the 27th.
I love it. I love it. And apart from bringing in these veterans, are you doing anything specific for your opponent, or is your approach more, I'm doing my thing. I'm not worried about who's on the other side of the cage. I'm just bringing the best version of myself.
Exactly. I'm just bringing the best version of myself. I'm not worried about what he gonna do. I pretty much know what he gonna do. He gonna punch, he gonna kick, he gonna wrestle the same way I do, but hey, who's gonna do it better?
Absolutely. And I think the whole world expects, or we think we know what Bo Nickal's going to try and do, given his pedigree, given the background that he comes from. But,
Right.
We just talked about your previous opponent, Miles Lee, and he had a very wrestling focused style as well. And you were able to ride out the storm and get that victory. Do you feel your experience in that similar situation is going to put you in good stead for this matchup?
I sincerely believe it will because I seen the type of stamina he didn't have in my last fight. So he better hope that he has the stamina this fight to make something happen because I can go all 4 rounds, 5 if I needed to. So you better pack your lunch 'cause it's gonna be a long day.
I love that. Pack your lunch. That's great. There's obviously been a ton of publicity around your opponent, Bo Nickal. He was previously on Dana White Contender Series. He didn't get the contract. There was conversations about his experience and why that may be the case. This is going to be his second bite at the apple. But if you're able to let's upset the odds and get it done on September 29th, 27th, excuse me, surely you take all his shine, you derail the hype train, and you must be expecting that you're going to get that UFC contract instead.
They ain't got no choice but to give it to me at that point because, like, what more do I need to do? Like, y'all hype this dude up like he was Mufasa, the circle of life. And I'm just like, damn, like, I beheaded him. Now what? Contract. I need that. Like, come on, man.
Absolutely. I'm sure that will be the case if, in fact, you are able to be victorious on September 27th. Just dialing back to something you mentioned before, you said you're always in the gym, you're always working. You've been extremely active since turning professional. I think you had 6 bouts in a 12-month period. Is that something you've done intentionally, and you think you'd be looking to get back in the cage before the end of the year?
I always have done that since I was an amateur. I was always trying to stay busy, stay active, and keep my body as physically prepared and my mind mentally prepared to always go into battle whenever I need to. And whenever I became professional, I was just like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And, and it got me to where I'm at. And
Worked well so far.
I'm looking to get another fight after this. So hopefully before the year is over, I can be on one of those UFC cards. Man, that would be dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet, right? The ticket to the big show. Awesome. Speaking of the UFC and the big show, have you been following the chaos that is unfolding about UFC 279?
It's tripping. You like he didn't Kazmat didn't make weight. Chris Barnett didn't make weight. Now they trying to switch the fights. Now they done fought at the press conference. I'm like, what the F is going on here? Everybody's tripping.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks, but it's been crazy from start to finish, and I have no doubt once they figure out who's getting in the cage with who, we're going to get some crazy fights as well. It seems the latest is what they're working on is going to be Nate versus Tony for the main event instead, and they're negotiating. Yeah, Nate has said that he's not going to be fighting Khamzat. That's off the table. He doesn't want to fight him because he's coming in so far above weight.
Wow. So they really gonna do it.
Yeah. So they're thinking about making Nate versus Tony and then Khamzat versus Kevin Holland as well.
Oh yeah, they snapping. Yeah, they I hope they do, because if not, this show is gonna I hope, man, look, it's gonna be a calamity of crap going on. I'm trying to tell you, because people gonna be mad if the fight ain't gonna happen. They gonna want their money back, and you know how Dana is with the money. I hope he gives them their money back. It would be right, but at the same time, y'all could y'all could be reimbursed for the next show. I don't know, but I don't want to speak on that too much, because I'm trying to get good with problems.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I was just saying.
We'll just move past that. We'll move past that. But I got to ask you for a pick here, because if the fight does go ahead, it's going to be at 170 pounds. Both Nate and Tony weighed in at 171. Looks like it's going to be a 5-round main event. Who do you see getting it done here out of these two veterans?
I could see it going Diaz's way, just because I always been a fan of the man. Stockton. I've been there before, and yeah, I'm rocking with Diaz.
I like it. I like it. I'm inclined to lean that way as well. And really, who isn't a fan of Nick and Nate Diaz? They are two of the
You know what I
sport's
mean?
most celebrated sons, certainly.
You know, like who wouldn't rock for them unless you just aren't a fan of the culture and background they from. So
That's it. Yeah, they're very likable characters, very authentic. All right, Donovan, I've got one more question for you, and then we wrap it up. I'm going to let you get out here, get on with your day. Once again, thank you so much for giving me the time. But
oh, yeah.
I was scrolling your Instagram, and I see that you've got a really great food sponsor behind you as part of your team, helping you get prepared. And you're sharing a lot of your meals on Instagram. So I want to ask you, what is your favorite thing to eat during camp, and then what's your go-to meal when the fight is done?
Man, I love me some chicken. I ain't gonna lie, some baked wings or some fried wings. You know, some legs and thighs. You know, the chicken ramen and chicken fried rice. That's my ritual food before I go into the fight. Man, and the beef fried rice from Saki Bills. That's ah, so good. And then one of my newest sponsors, Belly Southern Catering. Man, they make in a plethora of all types of stuff. It's all good. It's delicious. It's delicious.
That's great. I bet that certainly helps as well, having someone help you out with your food because you got to get that right quality of fuel in your body if you're going to get through training camp.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Donovan, thanks again. Thank you so much for taking the time. We wish you the best of luck on September 27th. Everyone tune in to the Dana White Contender Series to see Donovan, the highlight reel Beard, take on Bo Nickal and try and get that UFC contract, which we'll be rooting for you. So, Donovan, wish you the very best of luck and thank you again.
Thank you. I want to shout out to all my sponsors: Be Nice Arkansas, the Hybrid Kitchen, M&T Tippett Incorporated, Tim's Barbershop, Saki Bills, Belly Southern Catering, Disaster Masters, and Restoration.
There we go. Got to have a great team behind you, and it sounds like you certainly do. Congratulations on that as well.
Off the Chain MMA, Hot Springs, Arkansas, here we come.
Awesome. Good luck, Donovan. Thank you.